Bitch, I be that young wave. Swimming through the dark, I'm feeling like an ace of spades. Water on my heart, I'm feeling like a river bank. Gotta play my part, my mind ain't made for this. Space, insane, up the pay, compensate with big franks. I've been on internal travels, but I'm taking over space. Liberate, change your fate, fuck a gatekeeper. Schwetzie be the one who always get it through the gate. Okay, lots, get them cranked. I'm shocked that I can't. Schwetzie playing ball, bitch, you know I'm always game. Broke up out that jam, live my life like Shawshank. I'm like a shark attack, got them watching all bank. Just collecting small change, just correcting all pain. Schwetzie like a coach from the way I call plays. Niggas broke, Schwetzie flow, I done brought the antidote. I smoke dope until I choke, I make bitches have a stroke. Schwetzie hanging from a rope, don't you come around with no hope. Don't you come around with no pretty street shit, it's like a hoe, goddamn. Schwetzie always coming through it to him. Wonder why I run the game, it's cause of all my fluid movement. Fucking up what I'm pursuing, better call the Western Union. Better get your bread up, boy, before you go and lose it. Goddamn, why you do them like that, Schwetz? I'm collecting wisdom, it's all coming from the West. I attest, I'm the best, I be passing every test. A+, no rush, Schwetzie shining, no more rust. Wipe the dust, cut the crust, get my piece without a fuss. Robust, bitch, I'm tough, I be breaking out the cups. This my cuts, I got guts, I be walking over ruts. I ain't never gave a fuck, so that's really not a bluff. Go insane in a plane, charge man to keep the flame. With this vision that I got, you cannot say we the same. Goddamn, little Schwetzie, he always keep it gang. Goddamn, little Schwetzie, why he always keep it flame? Goddamn, little Schwetzie, why you do this to me, man? Goddamn, little Schwetzie, I give you a beat with that flame. Goddamn, with that flavor like I play it. I ain't give a fuck since the day I hit that bait. I ain't give a fuck since the day I flip my pages. I ain't give a fuck, little Schwetzie, just like. Woo! Woo! Go ahead and close out everything else. Let's get ready to get up in this bitch. Turn the motherfucking heat off because now I'm hot. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're not in the communication station anymore. We're not in the communication station anymore. I created a whole new playlist because I had a really, really fucking intense dream last night. Usually, you know what I'm saying? I rarely ever do actually have dreams. So if this is going to be something that you guys are going to like want to be regularly tuning into and stuff like that, it's probably going to be more of a rare upload than a lot of my other uploads. Cause I don't have a dream every night to be able to wake up and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, time to upload a new dream journal catalog or whatever. Like, I don't have that type of experience. My dream, I'd be lucky if I have like one dream a month or some shit like that. But with that being said, like I said, I had a really intense dream last night, and I've just also from some of my past experiences, I've kind of learned how to interpret dreams a whole lot better than I may have in the past. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, I just see a lot of people in the quote unquote spiritual community with dream work and manifestation through dreams to a certain degree, dream interpretation and shit like that. Mostly the reason why I'm doing this is for my own self. I mean, y'all know I like to have a video catalog. I used to think that it was all about writing for me whenever I was younger. Like, yeah, I do have like good penmanship and shit like that. Like, I've had people who would praise me for my ability to make even the lettering look good. Like like drawing in cursive or some shit, or coming up with like a new way to draw a letter or something. So I used to think like, yeah, I need to be the type of person to write books, and I need to be the type of person to be in a notebook all the time and shit like that. Like whenever I was way younger. Cause like I started getting back into the notebook and shit here recently, like a few years ago. But like whenever I was way younger and shit like that, even like in elementary school and stuff, like I used to write little storybooks and shit like that. So I was under the impression that it was correlated to the writing aspect. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older and I grew more, I kind of realized that the notebook was kind of a detriment to me, because nothing ever went outside of the notebook. Once that notebook was closed and the cover page was shut on it, nothing ever went outside of that notebook. It was basically like a diary, or essentially like a bunch of secrets that I was keeping with myself, pretty much. You know what I mean? And nobody else could be around to see that, and it never got expressed for the world to be able to see. You know what I'm saying? Like I've already written full books. I've written the Bible, pretty much, just in my way. You know what I'm saying? And all of that shit get lost, destroyed. It never, you know what I'm saying? It never see the light of day. So I came to conclusions like and also just based on other experiences that I've had as well, of constructing words, and I have a good way of breaking shit down and making shit make sense to people. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that, and I learned how to tie that into my expression, so that it's not just something that I'm writing in a notebook and nobody ever sees it. That's why now it's all videoed, and shit that I'm doing now, exact same shit that I used to be doing just on my own time in my notebooks and shit like that. You know what I mean? So everything that y'all see from me is essentially that. And this is just another branch of that. Like back when I was actually like, I'd wake up every day, every time I would have a dream, and I would immediately grab the notebook and write out what happened. You know what I'm saying? And even back in those times when I was doing that type of shit, I would forget about the dream after like a couple hours or something like that. Right now, I woke up at 9 o'clock this morning. I woke up at 9 o'clock this morning. It's 3:15 right now. I remember down to the smallest details everything that happened to me in that dream last night. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different, but essentially that's what this is made for. This is just another piece of the documentary of my life. This is another piece of the video catalog, and most importantly, I put a high level of importance on making sure that whatever content it is that I'm making for me. And then if it helps other people, and other people like it or fuck with it, and I can uplift the environment in some type of way, then that's just a beautiful bonus that we get to add on to it. You know what I'm saying? The cherry on top of the piece of cake or whatever. Cherry on top of the sundae. You know what I'm saying? So essentially that's my main focus on why I'm making this new form of a podcast, new playlist, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I'm also going to give you guys the tools necessary to be able to make sense out of your own dreams. Whenever you have an experience of having a dream, now you can kind of see what, well, everyone's an individual. It's going to be different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Your subconscious and unconscious mind might use different forms of symbolism, and might utilize different physical objects and physical things or physical people to represent different things for you individually. All I can do is tell you about my experiences. So that's what we're about to be getting into today. Hit the vape one time, drink the water one time. And we in there. So welcome to Schwetzie's Dream Journal. Today we're going to be doing a breakdown of the dream that I most recently had, and we're going to be doing a breakdown of what it actually means beyond what you see from the explanation. You get what I'm saying? Or what you see from the image of what actually took place in the dream. So let's get into it. So last night I was having a dream. I essentially woke up into a house, right? A house, okay? And from my perspective, nothing existed outside of the house. The only thing that there was no roads, there was no sidewalk around the house. I don't even If I'm remembering correctly, I don't even think there was a yard. I don't even remember seeing anything outside of the house itself. You know what I mean? And a back porch. That was it. You know what I mean? So essentially, I wake up in this house, or I just like my awareness is drawn to this house, and I'm in this big ass house, right? And I'm hanging out with my mom and one other person who was a male. The person that was also there, they didn't have a name, they didn't have a title, and I also never saw their face. I only heard their voice. Every time that they were interacting with the dream or speaking directly to me or speaking to the representation of my mother there at the moment, it was always like behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could always only hear the voice behind me, never see the body, never see the face, never see anything to call it. You know what I'm saying? Just a voice in the dream, a male voice. And I didn't get no sense of familiarity from it. So I wake up in this house, and I'm essentially just talking to these individuals, my mother and whoever this man is that's there, right? And we have like some sort of a disagreement, right? Between the my mother, which would be my actual third dimensional, my physical mother that I was born through here, and she was in a dream. I was having a disagreement with her, and then she goes away, right? She just like essentially vanishes after we have this minor disagreement. It wasn't anything serious. It wasn't anything like catastrophic or super confrontational. It wasn't anything like that. You know what I'm saying? There was no yelling, no screaming, no, just a minor disagreement. It didn't even seem like it would matter. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, she disappears right after this. Okay. And then I just continue talking to this dude. And once again, like I said, he's not in front of me. I'm not looking at him. I'm communicating with him, but it's just I feel the presence behind me. There's nothing more that I could tie to that aside from that. I feel the presence behind me, and that's it. You know. So I'm talking to this individual, and then I stop talking to this individual, and I start walking up the stairs to go upstairs, because it was like a living room and a kitchen right on like the base level ground floor of the house. And then there was a staircase that went to like a loft space with bedrooms and shit up there. And like midway up the stairwell was like these big like church type window panes, but it wasn't like a stained glass mural or anything like that. It was just clear glass. You know what I'm saying? But they were big, and they were like oddly shaped, and how like you would see in a church. It wasn't exactly a square. It was like or a rectangle. It was like squared off at the bottom, and then it came to like a sloping angle to make like a triangle at the top, like a slanted triangle at the top. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking up these stairs, and this might get a little graphic for some of you guys, so just a pre-warning for that, in case you're like a ultra sensitive individual, or you might not want to hear about certain topics and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to get a little bit grimy and a little bit grotesque to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind as I continue on. Okay. So like I said, I had that minor disagreement. I continue talking to the guy that's there, and then I stop talking to him, and I start walking up these stairs to go to the upstairs region, right? And as I'm doing that, I, I'm I'm looking out of these windows that are right in front of me as I'm walking up the staircase. And as I go up and up each step, I start to see somebody hanging there. And I'm not talking about just hanging there, like literally a noose around their neck, like literally killed themselves. You know what I'm saying? And and at first all I see is like their feet up to their legs, you know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering like even in the dream I'm wondering like what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? So as I continue to go up the stairs more, and now I'm able to get the full view of what I'm seeing. The person who is hanging there is me. It's not anyone else. You know what I'm saying? That the person who actually is hanging there is myself, my face, my physical body. You know what I'm saying? All of that. And it really hurt me in the dream. Like it really hurt me to see that. So I'm like first of all wondering what the fuck is going on, because I'm like I'm me, but how is it also me right there who is just killed themselves or whatever, just committed suicide? And but like in the back of my mind, I knew that there was more to it. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just what I was seeing. Like even in the dream, I knew like that this isn't exactly what's going on. So I needed to like stay in the dream to get more details and context clues, right? So I see myself hanging there from a rope, literally dead, right? And I continue to go up the stairs, and my mom is right there, right? My mom is right there at the top of the stairs, and she's like, I did this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it looked like suicide, but I did this. I'm the one who killed you. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? Not exactly those words, but essentially that's what was being said. Like, remember, I killed you. It wasn't nobody else. It was me. I killed you. You didn't kill yourself. I killed you. You know what I'm saying? So then what happens next is I go outside to where the body's at, my body. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside of my body, even in the dream. Like I knew I still looked the same. I knew I was still the same person. I still knew who I was. You know what I mean? And I'm viewing myself there outside of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing myself hanging from a rope, literally dead right there, but yet I'm still there viewing all this shit happen. You know what I mean? And I'm interacting with the people who are also in the environment. So it's not like I'm a ghost or a spirit amongst this and I'm not able to interact with them and I'm just like viewing it like no, I'm still able to interact with the environment, talk to the people who are there, all that shit, right? So as time goes on and I'm trying to work out like what is the fuck is going on here? Why am I seeing myself kill myself? You know what I mean? So then I go outside and like the body is already lowered down at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's not up in a high place hanging from a rope no more. It's like down on the ground, sitting on the standing on the back porch. But it's like my arms were up like this. You know what I'm saying? Stiff. The person that I'm viewing, myself that I'm viewing, the dead me that I'm seeing, right? My arms are sitting up like this. And I walk over to myself and I immediately hug myself and it made me cry. Like I can't explain the feeling that I got from this shit, but it literally made me cry. Like I damn near woke up crying from this shit because I started hugging myself and I felt like even in the dream, dude, I literally felt like I don't know if y'all have been around like dead bodies, people who has passed away, been to funerals and shit like that, but like you can feel when you put your fucking hand to a person who's dead skin, it's not warm no more. It's straight up like iceberg cold. So that's what I was feeling off of my own body whenever I'm sitting here like embracing myself and hugging myself like and I'm like what the fuck? And at that moment whenever I felt the cold skin, I got the sense and realized like okay, I'm not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's just a body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not actually there anymore. That's not me. There's nothing in that body anymore. That's just the vessel itself now at this point. Now, there's a couple of ways to interpret this. You know what I'm saying? After that, after I like hugged myself and like essentially I guess just checked in with myself, realized like yeah, I was dead right there. I wasn't there anymore. You know what I'm saying? The dream like ended promptly right after that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of like woke up a little bit like freaked out and kind of like sad, a little sad to a certain degree, and maybe a couple of tears in my eyes. You know what I mean? But the dream ended promptly right there. Now there's a couple ways that you can actually interpret this shit. You know what I'm saying? So for example, this could be a direct warning about the people who are actually in your environment at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And especially for that piece of information right there. House, you know what I'm saying? Home matters that can correlate to fourth house cancer type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So it could actually be a situation where the house is actually meant to represent your home or your family matters, your home life and shit like that. Uh, and then it could just be your mom being there because this is the person that you have tied to your family matters that is fucking you over in some type of way, assassinating your character, or some type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I took it. I didn't take it as necessarily, okay, that's me fucking dead right there. You know what I mean? When I woke up, I immediately had the realization, like, okay, that's just the physical body, even in and of itself, is just a image of who I actually am. It's just a representation, what you get to see of who I actually am. You know what I'm saying? So when I woke up from the dream, I immediately realized that seeing me dead right there was meant to be a representation of my character, either an old and outdated one that needs to be dead, or one that I'm allowing to be killed due to how I'm interacting with somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, there's a couple ways you can interpret it. The first way would be correlating it directly to reality, and seeing what those things represent, as far as, shit, it might actually be your mother who is fucking you over in some type of way. Or it could just be the presence of some type of feminine energy around you, some type of female around you, and your subconscious mind just utilized the familiarity and the comfortability of, you've been around your mom for your whole life and you're very comfortable with this person. So we're gonna utilize that to represent the feminine energy that you're experiencing at the moment. And how that played together is, you know what I'm saying, that voice that was behind me, that I kept sensing that presence, the my mom and that voice were also interacting with each other as well. So I knew that it wasn't just something that I was only hearing, or something that I was only in communication with. This person was still interacting with the environment as well. You know what I'm saying? So that could, some masculine force that you have in your life. You get what I'm saying? It could be that type of situation. And these two, the masculine and feminine, are playing off of each other, bouncing off of each other. You know what I'm saying? And then when you have a minor disagreement, now here they go, ready to essentially team up. The man pretty much distracted me and kept me conversations, while the woman, the mother, could go and assassinate my character somewhere else, and I don't get there in time. I'm too late to catch her tying the rope around the neck and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like an actual reality situation like that, where it's actual physical people who are impacting and having some type of effect on your character at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I think what holds more true, what rings more true and more prevalent, is to take this in a twofolded aspect. Not only, don't just be in a situation where every dream that you have, you think that it's being a representation to point at some type of virtue and principle that you are playing out with your expressions and the shit that you deal with through that, or people, places, and things. These things might be utilized to represent a certain energy, but it don't necessarily always mean that it's exactly directly about that. You know what I'm saying? And this is where, like, the shadow aspect, shadow work aspect, and the accountability aspect come into it as well. Because, you know what I'm saying, this could be directly correlated to physical people, places, and things. This could be directly correlated to what you're experiencing in reality. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it could just be representations of purely internal shit that you need to be working on. You know what I'm saying? So we can sit here and point fingers all day. I could say that it's actually my mother who is uh impacting my character in a negative way. I could say it's actually this masculine energy that's in my life that's impacting my character this way. I could say that shit all day. But if you're actually an accountable spirit and you actually do your shadow work, you will be in a perspective where you will take it more as an internal lesson. You get what I'm saying? So now let's just think about the things that I spoke about. You get what I'm saying? A masculine energy is present. A feminine energy is present. Okay. Masculine, logic, reasoning, left brain tactics. You get what I'm saying? Feminine energy, feminine nature, the womb, the water, the emotion, the that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? And then we had the house. You know what I'm saying? So that could still be correlated to fourth house Cancerian type of energies, but it might just be in your heart space. It might just be purely internally. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be those masculine and feminine traits that you have within yourself not being correlated to your home matters in the correct type of aspect. So now it opens up space for your thoughts and feelings to be combative against each other. So now it develops into, and we're on the fifth finger now, fifth house Leo energy. It's just funny how shit play out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we get to that point, it brings us to where now we can express some shit in an incorrect manner because of that conflict that we're having between our masculine and feminine and our character that stands in between it. You get what I'm saying? So now whenever we get over here to the 5, now we're expressing our emotions and our thoughts in an incorrect manner because they're combative at the moment, and it's going to affect this character right here. So whenever you get to that 5 and you start expressing, now you are actually the one who is assassinating your own character. You're killing yourself in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So those are just things to take into consideration. That the way I take that dream, I take it in a few different ways. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm actually accountable and I actually do shadow work. So you know what I'm saying? I see how this could be something that's playing out privately, internally, and something that is actually also playing out publicly in a public forum, or just dealing with home matters in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? So keep that shit in mind. You know what I mean? And also, whenever we start to get it, whenever we start to get into shit like uh even the symbolism of the rope that was hanging around my neck, the symbolism of that, the rope could be seen as like a snake in a certain type of way. And we know the snake represents wisdom a lot of the time in the way that they like to utilize it as symbolism. You know what I'm saying? So the rope could be seen as a snake. The snake can be seen as a correlation to a certain percentage level of wisdom. And what is it doing? It's being tied up around my throat chakra. You get what I'm saying? Or around my neck, around my throat. So you get what I'm saying? You can have certain perceptions that'll tell you like, okay, maybe what I'm expressing through my throat chakra right now is the wrong type of wisdom, and that wisdom is binding me in some type of way and allowing me to be hung because the discourse that I have between the wisdom that I'm expressing through my throat chakra at the moment, it might be something that my thoughts and feelings don't necessarily agree with. So that character that is utilized to express that wisdom and knowledge in some type of aspect need to be assassinated, need to be killed, or it just need to be something that you have a high level of wisdom, but you're allowing it to block your throat chakra right now. And the fact that you have all this wisdom and knowledge, but you're allowing it to bind your throat chakra and tie you up in that space and location. Now it makes sense for your thoughts and feelings to be at discourse, because your thoughts and feelings might naturally gravitate towards the wisdom and knowledge that you are able to typically express. So for me personally, you get what I'm saying? I take that shit as like a personal lesson right there, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Whenever this Mercury retrograde shit came first initially came around, you guys seen I took like a damn near almost a week long break from streaming and shit like that. The reason why is because on my own time I started having I started getting all type of old shit, old and outdated shit that really need to be dead, that was coming back from me, that I forgot about, that I didn't even know that I hadn't killed off yet. So I started having thoughts and feelings come back to me in the retrograde aspect, reanalyzing, redoing. You know what I'm saying? I had certain thoughts and feelings coming back to me that had me doubting my wisdom and knowledge. That had me like, yeah, like I'd come up with a top, and y'all know how I typically do my topics. Like I tell y'all, I literally sit down. I have a thought come into my head of just the title or just one phrase. You know what I'm saying? I use that as a title, make a thumbnail, and then all of a sudden we have an hour long, 2 hour long, 3 hour long live stream breaking down exactly that topic in and of itself and the totality of it. You know what I'm saying? So now whenever I was dealing with this heavy Mercury retrograde energy, I was sitting in a position where I already knew all this shit. I knew that I had the ability to just take one singular sentence or take one singular topic and expand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I already knew that I had this capability. I already knew that I had this ability. But then here come this anxiety and this fear and this doubt creeping in that I didn't even know that I still had to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? And it start having me questioning my wisdom and knowledge. All of a sudden now I'm like, okay, I don't need to go on live on YouTube this week because I have these few topics, but I only have the title. I don't have any points to connect to it. I don't have anything further. All I have is just the title, or all I have is just this concept. You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting there second guessing and questioning that shit. And then what did that do? I allowed that to block my throat chakra. I allowed that to block my expression to a certain degree. Because third house and fifth house, these two things kind of directly correlate with each other to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where your character sit at on your sun spot. What people see from you, your sun sign, your Leo. You get what I'm saying? Your Leo energy, expression energy. You know what I'm saying? Tie that to the third house, how you express yourself with your words and your linguistics and your language and shit like that. That's why that me allowing that wisdom to bind my throat and hang me from that rope due to my thoughts and feelings not necessarily agreeing with each other at the moment, due to the fact of I already have a knowing developed around this wisdom. I already know this shit to be true. But I'm sitting here paying mind and paying attention to mine, Mercury, as tied around the throat. You know what I'm saying? To shit that don't necessarily matter and shit that ain't even actually true. You know what I'm saying? As far as, oh, you need to be nervous about going live. Oh, what if you sit here and stumble over your words? What if you make a mistake? What if you have a cringy moment or some shit like that? Boom, I started listening to those thoughts and feelings. Boom, what happens? My fucking throat is bounded now. My throat chakra is bounded now, and I'm getting hanged by the throat. And it not only kill the throat chakra and bind that and restrict that in some type of way. Now you see the image of the body, the image in and of itself. And we directly correlate that to what? Fifth house, Leo, expression, character type of energy. You get what I'm saying? So that's how my character was able to be assassinated in that time, due to that masculine energy and that feminine energy, my thoughts and feelings, and it being tied around the throat chakra, the Mercury thought chakra, the mind, the intellectuality chakra. You get what I'm saying? I have the wisdom. I have it. You know what I'm saying? I've developed a level of knowing around this shit, but just due to being displaced in a Mercury retrograde sector right now, shit, all of a sudden a whole bunch of old and outdated ass, need to be dead ass thought forms and feelings start to be coming in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a situation where that probably needed to happen. You know what I'm saying? But there's one more way to break it down as well. There's one more way to break it down as well. And I'm gonna break this shit down real quick for you guys, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here. But there's one more way to break it down and interpret it, right? This could just depending upon you, your position, how you understand things, and the more that you reflect on what dream you had, you know what I'm saying, the more you'll be able to like get the perspective of what that was actually meant to mean for you at that time and what you were experiencing, right? So, like I said, we're dealing with a woman, and pay attention to the specific woman that was utilized, my own actual physical mother. So that could be directly correlated to my womb. You get what I'm saying? And now keep in mind the thoughts and feelings, the masculine and feminine, were a little bit more agreeable in that environment. You know what I'm saying? I only had an issue with the feminine nature. I only had a disagreement with the feminine nature. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was my mother. That could be my internal womb, my internal nurturing system. You know what I'm saying? My internal emotion. Now, the man, that same shit, masculine energy. Another formulation of how we can correlate to thoughts, feelings, intellectuality, the mind in and of itself to a certain degree. You know what I mean? So these two things were slightly agreeing with each other, or were more agreeable than me to the feminine at the moment. I was fine with the masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this motherfucker was right behind me, basically like perched on my shoulder the whole time. You know what I mean? I only had a minor disagreement with the feminine nature. So what you can take from that is, and like I said, the feminine is the one who went and assassinated the character, while the masculine sat here on my shoulder, distracting me and making sure I stayed put and didn't see what the feminine nature was up to. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a situation, and like I said, it was tied to me. I was the one who was interacting with this environment. So that would be what you can see from me, my image, my status, or not so much of that. I would say more so just character, more of Leo energy, that my character in general. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, what's it called? I was in a situation. You could be in a situation where your character is more agreeable to how you think than how you feel at the moment. You get what I'm saying? And that might be a thing to take into consideration, and that might be a thing to pay attention to. So this could be a warning to let you know, like, hey, yeah, you got the masculine on your shoulder. This motherfucker is fucking with you. Like, he's more agreeable with you than the feminine. You need to check in with your feminine natures and make sure that you're more agreeable with your feelings and emotions. That way you don't get into a situation where you do something based upon an emotional stimuli at the moment, and that allows space to be brought to you for you to accidentally assassinate your character through playing out some level of womb nurturing feminine energy in and of itself. You get what I'm saying? Just due to your the way you feel about shit right now, you might not actually agree with the character that you have at the current moment in your feeling space. Like, it might make a hell of a lot of sense in your mind, like, yeah, I need to be doing this and this, X, Y, and Z, and I need to be setting these particular type of building blocks in place because this is going to get me there. It's going to give me this type of monetary gain. It's going to give me this certain position in a job. It's going to give me this certain type of benefit, right? But the things that you have to do, the characteristics and traits that you have to develop, and the character that you have to be in order to get to that point B, final destination, wherever the fuck you going, you might not feel good about that. You might that might not be something that you feel like doing, or it might just be something that it don't feel right to you. You know what I'm saying? Because that might not be a true character for you. That might not be a true expression for you. That might just be something that you doing for the sake of getting something or for the sake of desiring something at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way that you can break that dream down. I just gave y'all three interpretations based off of one dream. You know what I'm saying? So we there's just a lot of things to take into consideration. Representations and symbolism is very important. Just understanding what these things mean in and of itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, essentially we're done. This is just a reminder to learn how to perceive what your subconscious and unconscious mind is trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, um learning how to interpret this shit. You know what I mean? Because I see all type of manner of goofy shit on the internet as far as people having certain interpretations of what dreams mean and shit like that. And all of a sudden now you think that you just experienced the same thing that I just went through in a dream, and now you think that you gonna get $1 million tomorrow or some dumbass shit. Or you think now, yeah, somebody just gonna show up in your life now, and all of a sudden you got your twin flame or your soulmate, and all of us, yeah, like nah, like that ain't the type of shit that you should be on. Know what I'm saying? But anyways, we out this bitch. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? This is going to just be a little bit more of a personal thing, you know what I mean? But of course people can tune in and get their breakdown for today. Make sure you guys tune into the Each One Teach One coming up, and make sure you're on the lookout for any content pertaining to that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all take it easy. We'll holler at you later, and peace, man.